Gideon Orkar coup, the coup that left more than 300 people dead or wounded, soldiers and civilians alike. A coup that nearly toppled Ibrahim Babangida government and for a few chaotic hours threatened to tear Nigeria apart. But how did it begin? How did it unravel? And what was it like for ordinary Nigerians who lived through the bloody April morning in 1990? It all started with frustration. By 1990, General Ibrahim Babangida had been in power for nearly 5 years. He promised democracy, reform, a better Nigeria. But instead, corruption grew, political transition stalled, and many soldiers felt betrayed. Among them was Major Gideon Orkar, a tough, outspoken officer from Benue State, alongside Major Saliba Mukoro, Captain Ali Emfrey, and Siri Ozoalo, and others. Orkar joined a secret conspiracy. Their plan was bold: seize Lagos, overthrow Babangida, and form a new government. The night of April 21st, 1990, they struck. At exactly 12:30 a.m., gunfire ripped through Dodam Barrack, Babangida residence in Ikoyi. Lagos wake up to chaos. Residents later recalled hiding under their beds, hearing the rattle of machine guns and watching soldiers block off roads. Some even ran to churches and mosques in the dead of night, saying that God will spare them. For 3 hours, the battle raged. Babangida barely escaped, sleeping out with his wife and aides through a hidden exit. But his loyal aide-de-camp, Colonel UK Bello, was killed in the firefight. Drivers, bodyguards, and soldiers defending Dodam Barrack also lost their lives. Then came 4 o'clock a.m. in the morning. The nation held its breath. On the radio, a voice declared, "Fellow countrymen, the Babangida government is no more." It was Major Gideon Orkar himself, but his speech carried a shocking twist. He did not only announce Babangida overthrow, he expelled 5 northern states from Nigeria: Sokoto, Katsina, Kano, Borno, and Bauchi. He accused their elites of political domination and betrayal. In a single broadcast, he tried to redraw Nigeria map. Imagine being in Sokoto or Kano that morning. Imagine waking up, turning on the radio, and hearing your state is no longer part of Nigeria. For many, it was frightening. For others, it was insulting. And even those who opposed Babangida could not support such division. Orkar's word isolated him from the very people he needed. Meanwhile, officers loyal to Babangida were not sleeping. Brigadier Ali Mohammed Gusau, Brigadier Sani Abacha, Colonel David Mark, and others regrouped. By 6:30 a.m., true loyal to Babangida began retaking key points in Lagos. And then Brigadier Joshua Adogonyaro, with his calm, booming voice, he went to the radio and announced that Gideon coup has failed. In his voice, he says, "Fellow Nigeria, I'm speaking to you this morning on behalf of the armed forces of Nigeria. The unfortunate coup attempt has failed. General Babangida is safe and fully in control." That single broadcast caused the coup momentum. Orkar's soldiers started surrendering their arms in panic. Civilians who had been hiding in fear began to come outside, realizing the uprising was collapsing. But the price was heavy. By afternoon, Lagos streets were littered with debris of war. Burnt vehicles, bullet holes in walls, families searching hospitals for missing loved ones. Over 300 people, soldiers and civilians killed or wounded in just a few hours. For ordinary Lagosians, it was a morning of terror they would never forget. Gideon Orkar and his men didn't escape. They were captured, tried in a military tribunal, and sentenced to death. On July 27, 1990, Orkar along with 41 others faced the firing squad at Kirikiri prison. For some, they died as a traitor. For others, as martyrs who spoke the unspoken. But one thing is certain, their coup revealed the crack in the Nigeria foundation, crack of mistrust, regional tension, and broken promises. So here is my question: was Gideon Orkar a reckless rebel who endangered Nigeria unity? If you had been in Lagos that night, hearing gunfire and radio speeches, what would you have felt? Let's talk in the comments. If you found this story powerful, hit that like button, subscribe for more untold African story, and share this story with someone who needs to remember the past. Until next time, stay curious and stay aware. Thank you and God bless you.